Hey everyone, happy Sunday night soul time. It is June 6th. I hope that you're well. And tonight we are talking about recognizing the ego, a topic that we visited a lot on Sunday night soul times, but one I feel is really worth revisiting right now, as I just really notice in so many of those around me that the ego just seems to be really loud lately. And so, as a real gentle reminder, your ego is that voice of fear in your head that presents itself as the voice of reason. It is kind of that lower aspect of you, okay? And if there's a lower aspect, there's a higher aspect. And you might call this the soul, the higher self. There's that aspect too. And while it's not a binary choice, it's really easiest to think about it in that way. So your ego self, your lower self, it is guiding you in one direction in your life, and that is not towards your highest potential. It's that one that says, oh, that's not possible. It's that one that is a lack and limitation consciousness. It is that inner naysayer, that self-doubt, that inner critic. And that voice is so loud that you probably just kind of identify that as you. And the important thing to note is that no, it's just a really small part, and it's not one that you have to listen to. And that the more you have awareness for it and recognize it, the more you kind of step back and witness it, do you allow your soul or the higher aspect of you to come in and take more space? Because your higher self, your soul, is leading you to the highest possibility, potential, and purpose for your life. It's that part of you that has these dreams for your life. It's that part of you that has like these longings and these deep resonance for something more. It's that love part of you. And in terms of how it's guiding you, it's like where passion lives. It's where, a dream comes in of something you really want. And you're like, God, if I could have this, like, wow, I'd be so happy. Then the ego comes in, like, probably before you've even been able to realize it and says, nope, that's not possible, da, 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 da. But it's that quiet part of you that really wants the best for you, that wants you to be happy, that tells you that everything is possible, that tells you you only desire something because it's possible. It's because it's what's meant for you. It's your destiny. So when you're talking about the soul purpose journey, or quite frankly, just being happy, it is about really starting to connect with your higher self and trust in what it's saying more than your ego self, and to take actions, create a life based on where it's leading you. I always kind of give this example for me back in 2011, or it was 2010 actually, but where I was laid off and I had a really big job at the time. And my heart, my higher self, was really guiding me to, not find another job right away and to take some time off for myself and travel. Of course, my ego self was saying, oh my God, are you crazy? Oh my God, you're going to have a gap in your resume. Oh my God, you're 36 years old. You're not in college. Like, all those kinds of opinions and naysaying on what my heart really wanted. I listened to my heart. And by the way, the ego was coming at me from other people as well. Like, what are you thinking? Like that kind of feedback as well. And so through listening to my heart in this moment, it really was like the turning point that shifted my life for me out of a cycle of suffering that I was in and into kind of alignment with my destiny or my highest potential. So why am I telling you all this? For whatever reason, the ego is getting really loud right now in many people. And so I want to remind you how to recognize it, which is a daily practice being aware each day and recognizing it. And again, if you take the actions and go to wherever your ego is leading you or guiding you, it has an opinion on everything. And if you're believing it and saying, yes, I agree, and then taking actions based upon it, you are creating the lowest potential for your life. You're creating suffering for yourself. Okay? You can instead ignore it and just come to see it's not real. It's not, its opinions are not real or valid. And you can see through the illusion of it, and instead listen to where your heart or your higher self is guiding you. That is the dream life. That is your highest potentiality, happiness, purpose, all those things. Okay. So it is the most important work we do. Like, this is the spiritual journey that we are all on, no matter what you believe, no matter what your kind of religious background is. The teaching is the same. It's just taught differently, using different language and different stories and all of that. The lesson is the same, and it's the journey that we are all on. Okay, so I want to give you, I got 3 things for you about how to practice recognizing your ego each day, right? Right now, you just want to recognize it. I also recommend, don't believe in it, don't act on it, but just start to get awareness of it. And when you recognize it, just go, that's my ego. That's my ego. It doesn't have my best interest at heart. It doesn't really understand me, and it's not really leading me anywhere good. But that's okay. I'm just going to recognize it. Like, really witness it objectively. Don't get like spiral in it and argue with it. Don't try to like think of it as an enemy. It's not. It's a part of you that doesn't really understand the truth of who you are. That's really it. Okay. So how do you recognize the ego? Number 1, and sometimes this is hard to do, but if it's coming from fear, it's ego. And sometimes that fear is masked by reason and logic and, these other things. But if you can get quiet and tune down and like follow it down and understand, is this really coming from love or fear? If it's coming from fear in any form, it's your ego. That is like the surefire way to always know if it's your ego or your higher self. Okay. Another way is that your ego is loud. Okay. Like your higher self, it's more of a quieter, kind of subtle, pushing, love, gentle. Your ego is that loud voice in your head. So if it's the loud voice in your head, it's your ego. And then the third, another way, and by the way, it can be one of these 3 things, and it's the ego. You don't need to check all 3 to know it's the ego. It's one of the 3, okay? But another way to identify it is if it's incessant. If it's going and going and won't shut up, it's your ego as well. So again, practice recognizing your ego each day right now, and know like your ego isn't the truth. It's a smaller part of you that just doesn't perceive things correctly. Doesn't understand this world. It doesn't understand you. Therefore, it's misinformed. Therefore, it's never leading you to the highest good. And if you can just start to trust and believe that, and eventually ignore it, once you're able to recognize it, you can transform your life in a second. That's the secret. Okay, I hope this is helpful to you. Have an incredible week. If you have any topics you'd like me to do for a future Sunday Night Soul Time, let me know. Just send me a note. Okay, bye-bye for now.